Okay, now welcome to our channel.
Absolutely. Thank you so much for having me here.
So you are in Quantal AI.
Yes. That's right.
So can we start with the Quantal AI? What do you do in this company? What is your benefits in this company to the society, to the industry?
Sure, absolutely. And so Quantal AI is something that me and my friend, we started together around 4 years back. We are currently an AI engineering services firm. So we have some of the best AI engineers on our team who are working with various businesses to help them automate workflows using AI and build AI agent and agentic workflows and even AI products with a lot of startups in healthcare, life sciences, real estate, and multiple industries. Very excited to be on your channel on it.
So you have the talents, custom developments, and ready to deploy agents. So it's a bit hybrid ecosystem. Yeah. So how do you combine all these things together and work with these companies?
No, absolutely. So I think we have created a lot of solutions around, for example, marketing automations or customer support automations for a lot of businesses that we are working with. So there are certain products that are there that we have created internally for various industries that we customize it and deploy it for the clients that we work with. And in case if the client has something completely as a new requirement or a problem that they are trying to solve, we first go and understand what their problem is and then create a complete AI roadmap. We also check their AI readiness and audit it, and then eventually we are able to give them solutions which will have a great ROI in terms of the solution that we are building and deliver it on a customized basis.
Perfect. Can we talk about an example, a real life example that you have experienced, that you have started from an idea and you have implemented as a working product or solution?
Absolutely. And actually, so I was at Columbia University and then, studied there in computer science, and then I was also a teaching assistant over there.
Oh, you have the academic background.
I have an academic
Which
background.
university did you
Columbia University in New York. So,
yeah.
so I really enjoyed my experience over there, and that's where a lot of new ideas came into play.
Yeah, one of the best universities in Ivy League, right?
Absolutely. It was an amazing experience, and in fact, we had amazing ideas in terms of working on various experiments, right? And a lot of ideas were very cool. But one of the things that I learned over time is instead of chasing an idea, it's great to chase a problem and try to solve that problem. And that comes with a lot of conversation with the people that we have, what we exchange. For example, we were working with, one healthcare company. They were, having a really huge bottleneck in terms of their receptionists or their consultants available.
When they come to you, were they aware of this bottleneck, or did you find this bottleneck?
No, so that's a great question, by the way. So we were brainstorming. So it started with something very different, where they had come to us for helping them with marketing, right?
Yeah.
And we realized in the conversation that okay, that's not the real bottleneck that we have at this point. Where the real bottleneck is, they already are generating a lot of leads, but there are not enough people to handle those leads effectively. They're long. The waiting times were really long during offline hours, right? Post 5 p.m. nobody was answering the calls, and that's when we come up with and prioritized. Okay, maybe we can automate your customer support first, and then look at marketing. We are still doing marketing with them, but the prioritization was around creating a customer support AI agent, which is like a voice agent that can just collect information about who is calling, whether it's a new patient, an existing patient, and checking whether they are able to book appointments on an available date, the closest date. And it was great for both the consumers and especially for the clinics the chains that they were running on.
So it's still working, right?
Yeah, absolutely. That is one of the AI workflows that has gone into production and is giving a very good ROI, and it's completely dependent. So for example, let's say even if they were missing like 10-15 calls every day, the receptionists were not able to handle the workflow. It was directly impacting both the experience that the patients would have and also their revenue. So it is a great ROI on that part.
Okay, based on this experience or in general, what is the most difficult part of implementing something living in real life?
Yeah, and I think one of the key challenges is not building right now, because we have a lot of AI tools to be able to build things quickly. But what to build is very important. And that only comes with a lot of real human-to-human conversations. And once we crack that piece, building is something which is really easy. It means nowadays with Claude Code and Cursor and Codex, and but yeah, one of the challenges that I see when we are building is obviously tokens being used like crazy. But you can't complain because the productivity of the engineers have gone 10x than before. Yeah.
Okay, based on these experiences about these customer relations and interpersonal communications, so you have some of the customers with the poor data, broken communications, lots of different types of problems. So how do you handle these problems based on your experiences?
No, absolutely. For instance, when we are working with a life science company and we were creating their customer personas. Okay, so they already had a lot of surveys and transcripts with the customers that they were speaking with in terms of surveys. So what they wanted to create was an AI persona of their customers, so that they can actually interact with them and see which ad concepts work, which messaging works. For example, let's say a middle-aged person having asthma, or if there is a senior person having an asthma, right? How would they be able to chat with that persona and see which messaging works better to them, right? And in that case, the data was very scattered. It was, and also there was a lot of personal information which we had to redact because of the HIPAA compliance that we had to follow. And again, it all comes to first understanding the problem. And with the data, before actually training the AI model or jumping into the AI, having good structured data, storing it in the right manner at the right place is very important.
Yeah.
And once you have that sorted, it's like the foundation of creating any tool on top of that. So data creation, the data layer is extremely important to get it right and clean it up, keep it in a structured way, use the best available technologies like Pinecone, etc. for storing vectors and
that's very interesting. So these AI transformations, AI adoptions are getting more popular, and it's already a competitive area, and it's getting more competitive each day. So what makes you unique? I mean, your company unique among all these competitions?
No, absolutely, and that's a great question. I think the uniqueness that we bring is the focus on AI and AI-related workflows and automations that we have done, and especially for certain industries where we have done a lot of workflows. And for instance, healthcare is something that we have gone really, really deep into solving their OCR, their reading the reports, imaging, and even customer support automation. So we are trying to niche down on a specific industry and specific use cases. But at the same time, I think what really sets apart is having an extremely good engineering team that can solve problems.
So you're based on the talents.
Yes, absolutely.
You have a unique talents.
Yes, there are unique talents, and we have hired one after we have interviewed like hundreds of them. So we have handpicked a lot of really good talents. We did not do any AI in that.
Okay. Thanks for joining us today. And
absolutely.
Thanks for this great information.
No, it was a pleasure and great speaking with you, Sari, and thanks for having me on this.
Okay, thank you.